It was supposed to be an ordinary night, just one last delivery, and I'd finally be free. The pizza place was closing, and I was working the counter alone, exhausted and ready to head home. That's when the phone rang. I sighed, thinking, who orders pizza this late? I picked up, expecting an order, but there was only silence. I listened, waiting, but the line stayed dead. So I hung up. The phone blared again. Great, I thought, picking it up. Silence. Once more. This time I was about to slam it down when a frail, icy voice drifted through the line. It was an old woman, and her voice barely carried over the static. She whispered that she wanted a regular pie. Delivered. I forced myself to stay polite, but inside I was furious. Still, my boss overheard and told me I had to go. Think of the tip, he said. The elderly usually tipped well, so I grudgingly agreed. I took down her address, but before I could confirm the details, she hung up. I shrugged it off and called to the chef for a regular pie, knowing that this delivery would end my shift. A little before 10 p.m., I pulled up to the address, feeling uneasy. My GPS had guided me to the quietest part of town. The house stood alone on a deserted block. If you liked dark this and story, silent, then as if no one had lived there for years, and subscribe to our channel. Grab the pizza to see and walked up to the door, ringing and the bell. Share no this video, no like friends, just silence, so that they can also watch. And finally, I saw her, a figure standing by the window. It was an old woman, watching me with cold, empty eyes. Her face was pale, almost corpse-like. I called to her through the glass, holding up the pizza. But she didn't move. She only smiled, a stretched, unnatural grin that twisted her features. I felt a chill creep down my spine. Ever had the feeling that something was watching you, but you couldn't see it? What would you do in my shoes? That smile. I'd never seen anything like it. My instincts screamed for me to leave, so I bolted back to my car. Heart racing, I set the pizza in the passenger seat, texting my boss that I was bailing on the delivery. But then, I looked up. She was there, right outside my passenger window, staring at me, her face pressed to the glass, grinning. I slammed my foot on the gas, not daring to look back. Fast forward a year. I'd quit that job, but eventually I took another pizza gig out in the country. It was my last delivery of the night, and this time I was sent deep into the woods. After a long, dark drive, my GPS said I'd arrived. The house was an old, rotting lake cottage, isolated in the middle of nowhere. Overgrown grass and silent woods surrounded it, swallowing the property in shadows. I grabbed the pizza and knocked, hearing footsteps shuffled to the door, but no one opened it. Instead, a gravelly voice said, "Bring it around back." "Would you go? It's dark, you're alone, but your boss is counting on you. What would you do?" Every instinct told me to leave, but I didn't want trouble at work, so reluctantly, I walked around to the back. There on the patio, I saw someone sitting with their back to me, a head of stringy hair peeking over the back of a chair. "Excuse me?" I called, but they didn't respond. Then a whisper floated from behind me. "Over here." I spun around to see a man's face, wild eyes, a twisted smile, peeking from around the corner of the house. "Come here," he sneered. "I want to show you something." I didn't think. I ran, back to my car, heart pounding. I fled down the dark road, not daring to look back. When the police investigated, they found the house abandoned, untouched for years. Another year later, another night, another delivery. If you like this video, then like the video and subscribe to our channel to see such real stories, videos. And share this video with your friends also. so that they can also watch such video.